And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have his teammate, also representing Naive Dream World. It is the Taiwanese Zerg player, the Blue Zerg. It is MysteryMan.
Alright, like, we got a ZVT, and you know what that means.
It means mech?
Yeah.
Oh god, I hope so. I expect a lot from our Terran player.
Got him.
Got it. God. In my opinion, he is one of, if not the best Terran player in all of Taiwan. He's had a couple of hiccups here and there in like DreamHack 4, but you know, he's a solid player.
He went toe-to-toe against Nice, and that's pretty nice, so...
Oh, God.
You gotta stop me, man. This is why I'm getting fired after this.
Yeah, it was... You know what was the worst? I was casting ESL Open Cup with Yaku, and we were casting time, and we just couldn't stop saying time. Oh my god, is he gonna have enough units in time, or is he gonna be able to defend in time? And we couldn't stop.
Here's the tip for you players looking to be pro gamers. Don't name yourself after arbitrary adjectives or nouns. Casters will not stop making puns about it, or they'll beat themselves up for constantly saying one player's name. Because it's just a word, like time, or nice, or expect.
Yep. We settled on like halfway through the cast, we're like, you know what, we're calling him Penang. We're calling him by his name. It's done. There were times where we would pause and we would just say the Terran instead. We would just...
I know in Korea they tend to refer to players by first name rather than... Those are not the right casters, by the way, on the bot, SMH.
Oh, that is not correct,
Imagine the bot not being updated, SMH.
Who? What? Pengy Twitch?
Who is that?
I have no idea, but mate, this is
I know who Creighton is, but...
Yes, of course, Creighton, he will be casting later on today on this channel. He will be covering DreamHack EU, I believe.
Hello, community caster.
Yeah, there he is. Of course, we are here with Taiwan, Hong Kong, and so far, nothing crazy has been going on. I feel like the craziest thing is MysteryMan has a very interesting third base.
Yeah, he's taking the forward third, which usually is an indication of aggression, but I don't see a Roach War in light.
Yeah,
not that I'm aware of.
Like I don't know what to say. I never see this in like as a Zerg player. Like this is not what you want typically.
I mean, if you're taking this base, the only reason you take a forward third is for like a Roach push, for example. But he doesn't have a Roach Warren or a Lair on the way. Like yeah. I've seen triangle thirds on like when Nightshade was a thing. I've seen a few builds from like Scarlet and I think Dark maybe, when you take the triangle, the forward third instead of the third on the high ground, so that you have a faster, a shortest rush distance to push with roaches. But this looks like just a macro opening, which is interesting because that third is a little bit harder to defend.
Yeah, we'll see if he gets punished for this, especially in a ZVT against a Terran player. You can try and abuse this. You can drop, you know, from the third into the main base. You can attack from the high ground as well. Yeah, it can be a little bit
very abusable spot.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see if ExpecT does something with that, as he is going for a pretty standard opening. He's going for a 1-1-1, has a Viking out as well to help clear out all these overlords.
Interesting. I think he went for a Viking instead of a Liberator.
Yeah, like he prioritized the Viking first.
Yeah, which is interesting, but that means this is going to be a single prong hit.
Oh god.
And we'll see how MysteryMan deals with this. He doesn't have a lot of lings here, and his queens aren't here either. He is picking off a few of them, and no drones have gone down as of yet. As I say that, 2 go down, another 2 go down. The queens are here. This should be cleaned up quite cleanly. And there we go. Pretty decent defense overall.
Yeah. I mean, ideally, you want to try and do that as your Liberator is coming across the map, so you can kind of go for that multi-prong attack. And maybe, like, if MysteryMan is, you know, using all his queens to defend against the Hellions, that they're not there for the Liberator, so you're able to deal extra damage. But ExpecT, you know, he saw an opening and he just decided to dive in with his Hellions.
That's right. That is right. The Liberator is a very key part of a very strong opening attack with the Hellions. But he should be able to... This shouldn't be too bad for him. Like,
Yeah,
he did trade out for a few drones.
Yeah, like he did deal damage and he also cleaned up a lot of the Lings, but like, you know, the Liberator so far is just kind of chilling. it's just...
Yeah. I mean, there's Queens and a Spore over in the natural. Ooh, this is a relatively quick 4th base too. He is going like hard on the macro here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like MysteryMan, he's already up to 65 drones. He needs to be careful not to be caught droning up too much. To be fair, like he hasn't neglected his Baneling Nest. Like he's working on his upgrades. He's working on a Spire as well.
Yep, he's going for a Lingbane Mutas style on this map, which is, you know, it's definitely a good map for it. Like, there's a lot of dead air that Mutas can play around with, behind the natural and behind the triangular third. Like, it's definitely not a bad map for Mutas.
Yeah, honestly, I personally appreciate it that he's going for this, because quite often, especially in recent times, we've seen a lot more like Hydra into Lurker play, especially from the European Zerg players. So this is great.
You see a lot of the Europeans going for that Hydra Lurker style, whereas a lot more of like the North Americans and the Asian side of things tend to favor the Lingbane Muta. So definitely like a stylistic thing, as these tanks are just shelling down the Lings, but not before they've taken out 11 drones.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh
and
boy.
this stuff's gonna get caught out too. Oh, he manages to pull back in time. Without losing a few Marines, but here we go. He's starting to abuse this ledge here, dropping between the 3rd and the main.
Exactly, this is the problem, right? You just pick up, you drop, and it's a little bit easier to deal with every single time. Like the Marines are able to get so much value. They get a couple of workers, and they're even still alive. Oh.
Yeah, they're still doing damage here, mostly to the army supply, but nothing that's irreplaceable. You know, nothing too expensive so far. As the Mutas are starting to come out, this Liberator here, it's just vibing.
It's just vibing. It's gonna be going down. It wasn't able to deal too much damage as the Mutas did come out. And yeah, like that Ling run rate was pretty huge. Like 11 SCVs went down. It didn't help that the tanks were also dealing some friendly fire as well, and just like
yeah,
the
splash was hitting the SCVs, which is not too great for ExpecT here. ExpecT kind of faltering a little bit, and MysteryMan is like showing a very, very strong macro game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like we're getting to the point where MysteryMan, he's gonna be fully saturated on 4 bases, and at that point he can just focus entirely on unit production. Yeah,
he's up to 75 drones already. Like, he is just going hard in on this, and these Mutas are doing a little bit of army damage. It's very good for him.
Yeah, definitely. He has to be a little bit too careful, because again, 1-1 Marines, they can still pack a punch, but as I say that, oh yeah, 2-2, and I love the transition. Yo, he's going into Widowmines.
Ooh, this is definitely a good play, honestly, against Ling heavy comp like this, I would say. Yeah. It's one of the pathways he can go, and he is indeed going for it. This should do well, I think.
Definitely. Like Biotank is okay, but it can be abused by the Mutas. You know, the Mutas, they dance around looking for opportunities where the tanks are kind of left exposed, and again, they don't shoot up either. Widowmines, they do great against both Lingbane and Mutas.
Oh, I've seen so many clips of Mutas, just like an entire cloud of like 20 Mutas dying to 4 Widowmines. I dropped spilled water, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
to death.
It can be rough. F's in the chat for that water, by the way. Oh, good.
I talk with my hands and I left my water bottle open. It's fine. I'll fix this later.
It's at least it wasn't coffee. It's okay. It's okay.
At least it wasn't coffee, and it wasn't on my keyboard. And you know what? I'm just gonna casually pass that off. Nothing happened. All right, Here we go.
Nothing happened. All right, we got the Mutas shocking around looking for an opportunity. The missile turrets are just about to finish up.
Oh, the missile turrets do finish up. There are 3 turrets here, and they should be able to discourage the Mutas from doing any damage on this base.
Oh, meanwhile, we got a drop over at the 4th base of MysteryMan. It doesn't look like it'll deal enough damage. The Queen almost fell, but not quite.
Oh my god, MysteryMan is a lot of Lings.
Oh, yeah. Maybe too many. There we go. Finally, a couple of Banelings. I was like, yo, he needs some Banelings with this.
There's not a lot of Banelings there. That's, ooh, a good pick off in the medevac. He's like maxed out right now. He's got a lot of Lings all in one area. and a very large meat account, which is pretty good for him. But he doesn't have as many Banes as I expect you would need. That was not intentionally a pun.
I would expect him to have more banelings right now, but you know what? ExpecT, he's perfectly fine. He only has 2 Widowmines with this, which is a little bit scary as he is looking to get surrounded.
Yeah, he might be getting crushed from the front and the back, and there are mutas here to try to clean up these tanks. Alright, here comes the Crush Light. Bingling's taking out from the front, Lings and Banes from the back. The muta's crushing in onto those tanks. And a very clean engagement here from MysteryMan.
Oh my god, MysteryMan just completely ate the army of ExpecT. Everything went down. Meanwhile, ExpecT is going for a drop, which is nice. You know, he forces the army back, forces, you know, a little bit of disruption in the economy, but man, it's just one drop.
It's just one medevac, and he cleaned up the entirety of the main force of ExpecT.
Oof. That was disgusting.
That was something.
Oh my god, and just like that, ExpecT plummets in the supply. He's still working on his upgrades and his army composition, but oh my god, that was such a big loss, losing all of his tanks, the Widowmines as well.
Yeah, that's not a good thing to see as a Terran, that your entire army just gets consumed by just more, like, by just having more army there. It's the Scarlet technique, as they say, the Swarm Zerg technique.
Exactly, and the Swarm is coming into the natural. There were Lings everywhere, but it looks like everything's going to be cleaned up. ExpecT turns around, so not too much damage was done.
Yeah, it's not the biggest damage from the attack, but MysteryMan keeping ExpecT from moving out too hard, keeping him in check, and furthering his lead as his bank is looking pretty strong in the mineral side.
Yeah, I will say that ExpecT, he is expanding pretty well, and MysteryMan hasn't done anything about the newer bases. So if time goes on and ExpecT actually saturates, then he should be okay.
Titan is a Chinese player.
Oh my god, stop. Get out of here. Get out of here.
This is the end of my casting career. It's been good, but I will never cast for ESL B streams ever again.
Oh god, Jet, I've seen this before. I've seen him in this position before.
I've seen this exact low ground position before.
Oh god.
Light, it's happening again.
It's happening. He's getting surrounded.
Oh god. No. The reinforcements are getting cut off, and here comes the Lings from behind to crush once again onto the Thors and the Marines. There's nothing left but medevacs and Thors as the reinforcements gonna keep good Widowmine connection.
Yeah, decent Widowmines, but the Ling Bane surrounds from the north, from the south. The mutas come in as well to clean up. To be fair, a lot of mutas went down, but oh god.
I think the trade is much more favorable for MysteryMan here. Like, let's take a look at the units lost count. Ooh. Honestly, over the entire game, MysteryMan's been trading well, but in these big engagements, like.
Yeah, it just hasn't been working. I don't know what it is, but he keeps wanting to like go into that corner, and it's just not been working out. Like, stop, you know. It's
so abusable by his Zerg, especially with the creep on the higher ground base over there that he's now taking.
Yeah. Like,
it's such an easy collapse for the Zerg.
Exactly. We've seen it twice already. And we'll see what ExpecT decides to do. Again, the one thing going for him is that he does have a pretty decent economy. Like, for the most part, his SCVs have been left alone on these new bases. Sure, he could use a little bit more gas, but the SCV count is pretty solid.
Yeah, he's been running out his economy throughout the game. Starting to catch up a little bit, at least, to MysteryMan. But MysteryMan, he's at the point as a Zerg where you just expand because you can. And because that just means faster production for your 3K bank. It's another decent engagement here.
Yeah, to be fair, the Widowmine connections are pretty good, but we've gone to the point where now we have Ultras.
Yeah, and Ultras are tanky boys when it comes to Widowmines. There isn't a lot of Marauders nor any Ghosts here to snipe these Ultralisks down. Corruptors here to deal with the medevacs too. This is looking like MysteryMan might have finally broken through.
Exactly, MysteryMan, he's broken through. The third base is just absolutely gone. Meanwhile, ExpecT, he's going for a drop, which is nice, but at the same time, like, there's just not much here. There wasn't anything for the Ultras. Once the Ultras come out, once that Hive Tech comes out, you need something like a Liberator or a Ghost Switch, and it just wasn't there.
Yeah, he needs a Liberator count, he needs more Marauders, he needs his Ghosts, which he hasn't made the transition into yet by this point in the game. He does have the Ghost Academy, but doesn't look like he's very focused on that at the moment, and neither is he making any liberators.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? He has the tech, but he's just not making them. He's not producing them at all. Again, he has a pretty decent economy, but like when it comes to the main army engagements, like ExpecT, he's just been trading more efficiently.
Yeah, and I don't think in this situation, ExpecT can really.
Yeah.
I don't think he can switch at this point because MysteryMan is at his doorstep.
Yeah, I'm so surprised that he just hasn't started producing ghosts. Like he's just hammering with the Marine Marauder. Now here comes the Lingbane.
Yeah, it's pushing it against some pretty decent defense here so far. Some good Woodamine connects, but here comes an Ultra to just clean up behind the Lingbane in front of him, and he's just gonna keep pushing in here, dealing more and more economic damage to ExpecT. And I expect this to wrap up pretty soon, Light.
Yeah, 13 SCVs go down, the CC goes down. At this point, the Lings are just they're edging their way into the production, into the main base. Again, another drop, but...
GG's called. MysteryMan takes game 1.
GG. MysteryMan, honestly, I'm impressed. Like, he honestly really struggled against Rex. I was like, oh my god, what series are we going to get into? But MysteryMan really turned it on.
Yeah, he absolutely played amazingly in ZVT here today. Excellent macro movements. His army production was on point, and he's just able to win by sheer force and just having a better army and a more army.
Yeah, and just the collapses, the engages, it was beautiful. But we will see if MysteryMan can keep it up in game number 2, as we're going to go on a quick break.
And we are back with game 2 of MysteryMan versus ExpecT. As we get ready to load into the match, the players should be ready to go.
Yeah. Again, I was really impressed with how MysteryMan played that game out. We'll see if he continues to go for like this Lingbane Muta style, or if he ends up dabbling in that like Hydra Lurker style.
Yeah, that Hydra Lurker style definitely showing up recently with players like Raynor, really just showing the world the power of the Lurker.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I'm not a fan as a viewer, at least just because it's a lot less active. It's a lot less like dynamic as a matchup.
Yeah, I much prefer the Muta style to the Hydra Lurker. Also because I'm just not used to controlling lurkers, and that style also relies on like spellcasters with Vipers.
Yeah.
Which, despite having been in Diamond for like a few seasons, I still don't know how to use spellcasters. Don't worry about it. Anyways, here we are, light on Pillars of Gold LE, as we catch up with our top right-hand corner player, the blue Taiwanese Terran, playing for Naive Dream World. We have, of course, ExpecT.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Pillars of Gold LE, we have the red Zerg, the Taiwanese Zerg, also representing Naive Dream World. It is MysteryMan.
Alright, we've got another ZVT, this time on a very big open map. This should be a very dynamic matchup.
Yeah, I mean, part of me feels like, I mean, from my experience, Pillars of Gold can be a Zerg favorite map just because of how open the center of the map is.
I mean, yeah, look at that. There's so much space for collapse. There's like barely any high ground, low ground transitions in the center area of the map. It's very difficult for a Terran to get a good position in the middle of the map. But if the Terran has a tight enough timing that doesn't get interrupted, he can absolutely go for a very strong push and just siege up on one of these positions, like on the high ground of the triangular third, for example.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of positions that, you know, you can utilize as a Terran player when it comes to tank pushes, even outside like the third base on the, you know, the more horizontal third, if you will. But yeah, we'll see if ExpecT utilizes that. I mean, it feels like he was dropping a little bit in game 1, but they weren't like dealing too much damage. What I will say is I don't feel like there is this situation where he's going to be pushing out in a corner like on Death Aura, you know? Yeah,
this is definitely not a map where that can happen like that. There's definitely much more maneuverability options for both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how the macro game goes, as it looks to be a very standard macro ZVT. And yeah, we'll see how ExpecT corrects his build, perhaps, or his execution as such, to account for game 1.
Yeah, part of me feels like just like army movement, I guess, because like it felt so risky pushing out with, I think he only had 2 Widowmines when he pushed out. And typically you have a lot more, and like you cover like your backside with like a couple of Widowmines, right, in case you get surrounded, or, you know, as a reinforcement point, so you can like kite backwards towards it, things of that nature. And yeah, he just wasn't, it felt like he wasn't set up that way.
Yeah, his setup for the pushes wasn't like amazing. Like he just kind of like bundled together. He split off a bit to go push into the base, and he kind of was really clustered, and he wasn't really set up to pull back.
Yeah,
you know, I like to call it like the Terran ladder. But, you know, you've got groups of Marines split backwards, you've got your tanks at the back, your Widow Mines covering all different spots, you know? And all the pre-splits ready to absorb a Zerg push.
Yeah.
But he wasn't really set up for that, really. He was just set up to sort of like sit in the spot and hold, which didn't work out very well when he got crushed from all sides with the entire Zerg army.
Yeah, it was rough to see. It was very rough. But he's going for a very interesting opener here. He went for a 1-1-1, but he kept his reactor on his racks.
Yeah, he's going for 1 Hellion at a time, which is interesting. Maybe he's looking for a very quick drop or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to be going for. He's going to be like looking to, I imagine, maybe drop with the Hellions and like support with the Marines. But oh no, never mind. Okay,
he's bringing his Marines. Ooh, this could be dangerous if it's not seen by MysteryMan. Looks like there are links going out, but I don't think they see it. Nope. They definitely don't see it.
They don't see it. They literally go all around it. So the drop is gonna, it's not gonna be spotted at least until the main.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going for the main, so it will only get spotted by the time it is here. And here it is, light. He's dropping into the corner. I don't think there's enough here.
Yeah, I mean, they're just pure links. To be fair, like there's no stim or combat shields. Like these are just regular Marines. So we'll see if they're able to deal some damage here.
Yeah, they should be able to do a little bit of damage as they hold their ground here against the Ling forces. They all get gunned down right here. This Queen's probably going to go down too before you kill the medevac. And yeah, just the drone damage just coming in. 7 already from the Hellions in the front. And the Queens, even more Queens supposed to go home. The Hellions get dealt with pretty well, but the Marines are still doing damage in the main base. Like,
oh, exactly. And the problem is that there's no creep connecting the bases, so it takes even longer for the Queens to show up. So nicely done. A little lost mining time, and just manages to escape.
Very nice pickup. Able to get most of the Marines out too as the stim comes up and he gets ready for, I assume, a second push. Oh, this is so good from ExpecT.
Oh my god, right? Like you go in, you drop in the main, you send your Hellions into the natural, and your Liberator sieges up on the third. He was pulling MysteryMan apart, did some decent damage, and from here, just transitions.
Yeah, he just disrupts the early game macro flow of ExpecT, and just of MysteryMan, and just keeps him from really doing what he wants.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like it disrupts like all of his economy, including his gas as well, and that's gonna definitely hinder him if he wants to go into that spire. Like we do have a lair on the way. I imagine he's gonna want to go mutas again, but I feel like ExpecT is much better off compared to game 1.
He's definitely a lot better off and a lot better prepared. His economy base is already solid. His third base floating over just now, and yeah, he should be ready for anything really.
Yeah. You know, Stim is going to be finishing up pretty shortly, so he will have that available to him. 1-1 is still a ways away, so he may go for some kind of timing with that. And to be fair, like MysteryMan, again, because of the opening, because of like the later tech, like he's still on 0-0. Like he doesn't have any Evo chambers whatsoever.
Yeah, he doesn't have his Evo chambers. He doesn't have his primary tech up, just the Bane nest. And usually by this point, you want to have those Evo chambers up and your main tech focus. But he hasn't even put that down yet.
Yeah, part of me feels like it's okay. Like, I think he would spread himself a little bit too thin if he decided to go for a Spire or for Evos. Like, at the moment, he just needs to, like, focus on surviving and, like, pushing this away.
Yeah, and I think he does have enough for that, and he's ready to put down the Spire, as he has gone and done. He's going to try and catch out this drop. Very well done, as it goes into the main. He has connected the creep.
Yeah, he has connected the creep. The Banelings are still waddling around. They don't have Baneling speed, but it looks like ExpecT. He's not looking confident enough to commit to that drop. He backs off. And yeah, you know, so far he hasn't taken any big losses.
Yeah, he hasn't taken any major damage as the Lings come here. He loses a queen, but nothing too major.
Yeah, he backs off. I think something that he has to be careful of is I don't believe he has scattered the Spire. The Spire is actually in a really interesting position.
It's just like out in the open. He could just drop on top of it and kill it.
Oh,
honestly. Yeah. that is how you lose a Spire.
Yeah, especially because I imagine the third base is going to be pressured later on, right? Like, it's making it a little bit vulnerable.
For the main tank pushers, that's usually where you want to go, the third base. And, it's definitely something that can be caught out quite easily as, Liberators.
Yeah, this is interesting. So, ExpecT, he is, like, hindering his own medevac production. He only has 3 medevacs out on the map, and he's prioritizing Liberators, at least for the time being. We'll see if it pays off. He has to be careful because, again, the mutas are already on the way, right?
Yeah, and mutas can deal with the Liberators quite easily if they stay with the army, as, pretty decent pickup. Oh, he even saves those two! Nice.
Ooh, beautiful.
Good pickups, preventing the crush.
Yeah, and now finally we have the Evo Chambers on the way. Again, very late, still 0-0. Meanwhile, 2-2 is on the way for ExpecT.
This upgrade lead is pretty sizable here from ExpecT. He also has an army advantage. The disruption to the economy early on from ExpecT with that three-prong push, doing good work, and the Liberator's here too.
Exactly, yeah. Speaking of 3 prongs, like we have ExpecT, the drop actually killed the 5th base that was trying to be thrown down. Meanwhile, we have that tank push going towards the 3rd, but MysteryMan, he just goes for the counterattack. Yeah,
he just sends his lings right in. He's doing quite a lot of SCV damage, but there's so much drone damage being done by the Liberator's Light.
Oh my god, and we'll see. Hopefully the splits are good. Again, the majority of MysteryMan's army is across the map and is not doing anything at the moment, as we have a drop even going into the main base, looking to catch up with the Liberators.
ExpecT is doing as Sun Tzu says, playing like Mario. He's all over the map. He's just pulling back here to the tank line. Decent splits going on. The tank's able to take out a lot of these banelings. He does have to pick up and get out, but there is still so much damage being done by ExpecT on different sides of the map.
Oh my god, is he gonna get the hatchery?
Oh, the main hatchery goes down! This is a disaster.
Oh my god. ExpecT is all over the place. So many. 33 drones went down. A hatchery went down. The 5th went down.
So much damage here from ExpecT. He does get traded out a lot, but at the same time, he takes out like half of MysteryMan's drone count. And the main hatchery. And the 5th. That was a kill, not a cancel.
That's it.
He just taps out. GG. Game 2 goes to ExpecT.
Oh my god. Do you want to know a fun fact?
What's a fun fact like?
1-1 just started up at the end there for MysteryMan.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. GG. Well played. We're tied up. And we'll be heading into that ace match after this break.
Stay tuned. And we are back from the break as we get into the ace match of MysteryMan versus ExpecT. This should be a good one, Light.
Oh yeah, I was worried for ExpecT, especially after game one. Like, it felt like nothing was going right for him. But I don't know what happened during the break between game one and game two. But he just turned everything up to 11. It was beautiful.
He just was like, all right, screw it. I've decided I want to win.
It's like, you know what? I feel like winning is a good thing. You know what? I'll do that.
I think today I shall win the series. And he's like, all right, time to just play like Mario, apparently. He was fighting on like 3 or 4 sides at once. That was insane.
That was beautiful to see. Like, there was a liberator in the main, there was a liberator in the natural, there was a push coming into the 5th, there was a push coming into the 3rd, then he picked up the push to the 5th and dropped in the main. It was crazy. It was great. It
was all over the place. And MysteryMan just split apart. But here we go, the ace match. 1-1 in the series. This is the elimination match even. As we load in here to Jagannatha LE in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. The red Terran player, hailing from Taiwan and representing Naive Dream World. It is, of course, ExpecT.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, we have his countryman, the other Taiwanese player, the Taiwanese Zerg, also on Naive Dream World. We have MysteryMan.
Okay, like, this is definitely an interesting map for the final map of the series.
It's spicy. It's beautiful. I can't wait to see what we see here. I mean, to be fair, MysteryMan, it's so far after game 1 and game 2, it's probably going to go Ling main Muta. But probably. But it's about how he gets there, right?
Yeah, it's about how he plays the macro game to get to the economy to get to that point. And this is an interesting map for sure. I mean, there's a lot of dead air, which is both great for Ling main Muta and for drops. And you can definitely get some good liberator positions as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. You say a lot of dead air. There's a lot of pond. There's a lot of lily pads. It's beautiful.
You know what we're a fan of here at the Cranky Ducklings?
Lily pads.
Ponds and lily pads. Yes.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. They finally just for us.
Yeah. This map was made specifically for the ducklings. Fun fact.
I was talking to Crow about it. It'd be perfect if there was like a little duck like critter in there, like swimming around. Like,
honestly, big fan.
Yeah, make it happen, Madas.
Make it happen. Come on, Madas. Get on it. Please.
Oh god. All right. So far we have some pretty standard openings. Oh! Is he gonna get the drone? Oh!
He does like the drone. He tried to get it in there as the Reaper left, but nope, it gets sniped and the Reaper's in the main.
Oh yeah. And honestly, that's so annoying, right? Like you don't want that to happen. You don't want your drone to be delayed like that. Even further by the SCV over here.
Yeah, he's on point with the 3rd base denial, keeping him from getting that 3rd on time. Time, of course, the Chinese player.
Yeah, of course, Time, he will not be playing next week as he has been seeded. Oh, no, wait, he will. Will he?
I don't know.
Yeah, sorry. He will be playing next week as the China DreamHack group stage will be, in 7 days. So, yeah, we will also be being the B stream for that. We'll be covering that.
We'll be making use of my visa, hopefully.
That's why we bring you on. Yeah,
I've got the visa and I speak like a tiny little bit of Mandarin.
Yo,
that's about it.
That's all we need, okay? That's what we ask for.
Fair enough. Yeah, and nothing much to talk about here, honestly, as ExpecT gets ready for a standard Hellion opening. I need to go for the Liberator this time.
Yeah, unlike last time, we do see the add-ons are pretty standard here. It is a 1-1-1 into that Liberator. Got 4 to 6 Hellions out on the map, looking to maybe deal some damage, poke and prod, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah. Sorry, there we go. Yeah, it's looking to be very standard. We'll see how they play it out. Because execution could always be different, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And MysteryMan is aware of this opener of the Liberator as well. So we already see a Spore being thrown down in the main base in a nice anti-Liberator spot.
Yeah, he knows the spots, I imagine, especially since these two are teammates. I imagine they practice with each other quite a lot. And so I imagine they know each other's spots. The little things that they do every game. Those sorts of things, you know?
Yeah. As we see the Liberator, it's going to the main, and it's going to just head first into that Spore.
Yeah, the exact spot, too.
But
and he pulls it back, tries to find a different spot as the Hellies are making their way across the map.
Oh, yeah, and he doesn't notice. He isn't pulling the drones.
Yeah, he doesn't see that he moved it. He does finally pull the drones. And the Spore moves, but not before the Liberator does. And he goes for the Hellbats here. Marching, waddling their way into the third base. This could be extremely dangerous here without anything here to stop them.
Yeah, it's all about the micro right now. Make sure you pull away the drones, keep them safe and alive. Meanwhile, make sure these Hellbats don't get on top of any of the queens. And so far, he's done a pretty good job.
Yeah, his spacing and his kiting has been pretty good, and he's going to be taking out most of these Hellbats. Baneling's morphing in 2 should be able to discourage the Hellbats. And very well defended by MysteryMan. By MysteryMan.
Yeah, MysteryMan just dealt with that. Like, sometimes you see that some players need to go for roaches or something to deal with this, but nah, he just dealt with it with queens. There wasn't even like a big like Baneling connection or anything like that. He just he just microed really well. His control with the queens was excellent. And he just waddles back. Liberator coming in again. This is a second Liberator, I believe. Going for more harassment. Especially since the first Liberator is still alive, it goes in, but oh my god.
15 HP, not even close.
Oh my god. Yeah, both Liberators are still alive, dealing too much damage really than they should deserve. Like that hell.
That queen's gonna go down too.
Oh
Queen
god.
Another queen's here. Then it's just okay. He scoots it out of the liberation zone, the freedom zones. And he will get pinned in by the 2 queens, and they will get cleaned up, but not before they do a little bit of damage. And not insignificant damage either. 7 drones is not something you want to lose.
Oh yeah,
especially
definitely.
after attack.
Yeah, I will say that MysteryMan did a good job at defending against the Hellbats. I feel like the Hellbats definitely needed to deal more damage, but at the same time, like, because the Liberators did so much, it kind of evens things out a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. You know, cleaning up the mess that the Hellbats messed up. And opening the way for the next push.
And here we go. We do still have a couple more Hellbats sprinkled in here and there. We've got a tank, we've got some bio. Stim, of course, is already done. 1-1 should be finishing up quite soon. I'm sure ExpecT is going to want to wait for that to finish before he pushes out. So damage potential, it's there.
It's definitely a very good timing window. He should hit with his 1-1 before 1-1 finishes for the Zerg, and before the Spire even is like halfway done. So there is no primary tech yet for MysteryMan.
Yeah, it's just Ling Bane. You know what? If you have your Hellbats in the front to protect your bio, like, you can do quite well with this. Thankfully, MysteryMan, he didn't forget his Evo Chambers. He is working on his upgrades this game.
Yep, he should be able to get them up as the push is happening, but there is still a window. A very small window, but there is a window.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, MysteryMan, he doesn't want to commit into any of this until he has his upgrades, until Bathing Speed at least finishes up.
Yeah, it's very difficult for MysteryMan to engage into a space like this without the Bane speed, especially with a tank here. But there is quite a lot of Zerg here. He's going to try and crush in, and he does get the crush off. So many Zerglings.
Oof. Yeah, that was rough because ExpecT, he like picked everything up, but he just didn't have enough room in his medevacs to pick everything up that he needed. Only 1 tank survived, a full medevac full of Marines, so he gets pushed all the way back home. And MysteryMan, he defends. He's got his mutas.
He's got a lot of lings. He's really heavy into his lings.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Oh god, man. Arguably maybe too many. You know, MysteryMan, he's actually lacking in his drone count a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. As like in correlation with his base count, he's only got 73 drones. You want to be up to 75, 80-ish. By now, I imagine.
Yeah, especially now that he is working on his 5th base. I love this. He's dealing with the rocks. You want to get rid of them to make sure that the Terran doesn't utilize the terrain to their advantage with their positioning. But it looks like he does miss this drop.
Yeah, he doesn't have an Overlord here scouting for drops like this. And it just manages to unload in the main. And there's another drop at the 3rd as well. We'll see how MysteryMan splits up his army to deal with this. As the Spore recharges the medevac. And the Mute is here to stop this other medevac, as it will go down, and so will the other.
Oh, yeah. I mean, not before killing a couple of units, and oh, he uses this as a distraction to push in with his tanks.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of tanks. 4 tanks and a good handful of Marines here. The pre-split's looking pretty decent. As the Crush is on the way in, the Banelings coming through. Target fire on the Banelings with the tanks is pretty good. There's still a lot of links here as they crush in on the tanks. The Mutas are here as well, and the Marines are forced to go home.
Oh no, the rally, the Widowmice, please burn, oh god!
The misrally with the Widowmice, and he's not able to control them back. As the medevacs will get sniped as well by the Mutas. And overall, a very good engagement from MysteryMan here.
Yeah, honestly, that was pretty close. Like, I feel like if he managed to borrow those units, like, you know, as he was pulling back, if he managed to borrow those Widowmines, then maybe he would have been able to, like, maintain his position and just keep pushing and rallying across the map.
Yeah, if he managed to, if he fell back to the Widowmines, that would have been much better. But his Widowmines, they weren't hotkeywed or being controlled. They were just waddling over, and they got cut out.
Yeah, they got caught out. So MysteryMan, he holds. Another important note is that 5th base did get cancelled. It did get killed, I believe. So that did happen as all that was going down, as all the aggression was happening. So MysteryMan, he opts to double expand. Oh, but it's already a drop.
Yeah, we'll see if he notices this and manages to get the cancel off. He's taking a little bit of damage. Okay, he does manage to cancel it in time, as the 5th is under fire as well. And he's getting set up here. A good links round on Thor. It's doing a little bit of damage to these Mutas.
Oh, but you know, yeah, but you know what? The Banelings, like, there aren't too many left.
Yeah, there's not a very big Bane count. The Widowmites are getting borrowed here. Decent Baneling connect, as the Widowmites clean up those lings here. And the Marines just putting out the damage. Medevac's a little bit lost.
Yeah, and honestly, now finally we have more Banelings. There was an opportunity there for ExpecT to just stim forward and go into the base, but he was a little bit unsure of himself, you know, and in the end, the Banelings finished morphing.
Yeah, as he gets a decent split here, he's going to start working on getting rid of the Banelings, as the Baneling count does drop and it's nothing but Lings and Mutas left. There is a pretty good Muta count, though, here, and they just sit on top of the Marines and clean them up, so... Again, fairly even trades, but those Mutas still up and doing damage.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty even trade, which I think is worse for the Zerg, because again, he tried double expanding, right? And both bases got cancelled.
Yep, and this is keeping MysteryMan from expanding his economy, continuing to ramp up his bank, and getting into that maxed out state that a Zerg wants to be.
Exactly, right? Like, MysteryMan, he's stuck on 4 bases. Equal bases to ExpecT, and that's never something that you want to see.
Yeah, as a Zerg, the way that the production works, you want to be a base ahead at all times. And he's not looking good here on his base count, honestly.
I will say that it looks like MysteryMan has finally found the breathing room, the opportunity to finally counterattack. This is the first time he's going across the map with his Mutas. Yeah,
and Mutas, you want to be always on the other side of the map, but he's had to keep it home to defend, finally being able to do a little bit of damage on the other side of the map. And forcing a float here.
Yeah, and this is so important. Like, these Mutas, they're harassing a little bit. But the most important thing is that they're keeping the army busy so that MysteryMan can finally expand.
Yeah, he's keeping the army at home, keeping him from pushing out. Good snipes of the turrets too. And looks like he's gonna maybe even get a kill on that CC.
Yeah, ExpecT he doesn't turn around. He's committing to the push.
Yep, he just wants to get the damage down, trade out bases, and looks like he might be doing just that as he gets 1 hatchery so far.
Oh my god, I'm so surprised that MysteryMan takes that planetary, that CC, and he isn't turning around either. Like, he's just allowing this to happen, so he just has a Lingbane to defend.
Yeah, and Lingbane I don't think is going to be able to defend in its entirety, especially with this many Widowmines. And by this many I mean 2, I can see. I promise.
Yeah. I feel like ExpecT realizes this, so he kills the hatchery, he pulls away, backs off. But because of that, I'm pretty sure MysteryMan evacuated that hatchery and the majority of the drones were able to escape.
Yeah, he does keep his drone count relatively high, and he is ahead, especially with this many mutas doing a ton of damage on the other side of the map. But yeah, it looks like Ultras on the way too. Should help deal with the Thors and the Widow Mines.
Yeah, I guess everything really, like Ultras are exactly what you want in this situation as he's going into that hive tech. Now he's pushing deep into creep again. Like the creep thread was really well denied over on the right hand side of the map, but here it's all over the place.
Yeah, it's yeah, no, it's not great, and it's getting cleared up even more, and getting pushed back. As here we go, an engagement coming through, some decent free splits. Good enough to push back Zerg.
Yeah, I feel like no one really wants to fight right now. Like, the Zerg lost a lot of army, but he still has a lot of leftover Banelings and Ultras, and ExpecT, again, he was so deep into creep, like, he needs to clear all of this up.
Yeah, he's starting to clean up a little bit, and there's a couple of Widow Mines here. Yeah, good from both sides. Fairly even trades. Okay, Widow Mine connection.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
And again, like pretty even trades, but again, MysteryMan still on 4 bases, finally getting a 5th up. And now, like, he actually has the drones to fully saturate. MysteryMan having 77 workers are finally able to get a 5th base up and running. And same with ExpecT.
Yeah, but again, Zerg on even footing is not a good thing. As he is slowly transitioning to the late game army. More drops here, doing a little bit of damage, just trading out with mutas.
Yeah, it's pretty good as we see. At the same time, ExpecT is pushing up the right hand side again. Very little creep spread, so it's a little bit easier, but the Link Bane is pushing in.
Yeah, it is pushing in. Some decent free splits, ready to absorb the Banelings into the Widow Mines as he continues pushing in here. Another surround coming in from the Zerg. Ooh, a good trade here, crushing in with the Baneling. He's going to take out a lot of that bio, but the Ultra's coming in too to help clean up, and this push does get cleaned up.
Yeah, everything gets cleaned up. He saves, he holds on to his 5th base at the same time expanding to take a 6th, and ExpecT the only thing that really survives are these medevacs. And the thing that I'm concerned about now at this stage, 17 minutes into the game, MysteryMan, he's got 3-3, he's got all his Ultra upgrades, getting more Ultras as well. Like, where's the Ghost Academy, right?
There's no Ghost Academy, there's no Liberators, there's no Lib Range. And that, I don't think that's going to be enough to deal with this. And he's still going into, like, the Marines, more so than the Marauders, which is, again, not looking good, especially against this many Ultras.
Yeah, like, this is something that a Terran can do when they have a bunch of momentum and they just keep going, right? They stay on this mid-tier army, they keep the economy low for MysteryMan, the Zerg player, and then they just snowball. And for a while, that's what he was doing, right? Like, he was denying a lot of bases and it was working out well. But now, like, you need that, like, other step, the next step, you know?
Yeah, he needs to really move into the next part of the Terran late game. He is... Is that Widow Mines?
Yeah, the Widow Mines, they managed to go off earlier, and it even drops a little bit here.
Oh, okay, they get picked off. You know, just a little bit of attempted harassment, but the mutas are on top of it as the army moves out once again. The decent Widow account, but again, those Ultralisks are just gonna absorb the Widow Mines like it's nothing.
Yeah, like, we've gotten to the point where both players are maxed out. I feel like the army is a little bit better for MysteryMan, and ExpecT, like, how many more times can he do this? Just, like, trade evenly against the army.
Yeah, it's really not a good thing for a Terran to be trading evenly, especially as a bio-heavy comp. You want to be getting those good trades, you want to be, like, keeping your bio up enough for your reinforcements to start moving in. And just getting that parade push going and just continuing to build the pressure.
Yeah, like, because we've gone to the point where MysteryMan, 6th base is done, 7th on the way, basically taking his entire half of the map, and now he's feeling confident enough to finally push in and start to threaten these bases.
Cool, those Widow Mines were burrowed, but here they are, some nice link splits as he continues to push in here. As he continues to split back with this side of the army, the rest of the Terran army is finally moving in to clean up this Zerg push, and it does get discouraged by the rest of the Terran army.
Yeah, so ExpecT he holds fairly well. We do see that immediately MysteryMan is remaxed, but he's not prepared to defend. Like, he wasted all his banelings earlier.
Yeah, and it looks like they're getting caught out while morphing in, and they're just... The rest of the Zerg army just is on different sides of the map, as this base will get taken out by ExpecT.
Yeah, so he does lose a hatchery, and there are a lot of Widow Mines here, so there is potential for ExpecT as long as he doesn't get surrounded once again. It's happened a couple of times, even once in this game, but, you know, as long as he has a nice spread.
Oh, those Widow Mines! Oh my god, all those units are gonna get taken out by the Widow Mines. Here come more Banelings into the bio, but there is so many more. There is enough Marauders here to absorb a lot of those Baneling connects. Yet again, though, a lot of Zerg here able to push back the Terran army.
Yeah, there's just too much. Like, the Ling Bane Ultra just swallows the army once again, and MysteryMan has the bases, has the economy to just keep pumping out units, keep going. And sure, he lost all his mutas, but I was about to mention, like, eventually you want to get rid of them. And here we go, Corruptors are on the way.
Yeah, the Raptors here to help against the Medivacs, and finally there are Liberators on the way. This drop gonna get caught out.
Oof.
Yeah, finally gonna... What was I saying? Liberators. Yes, Liberators.
Yeah.
Good.
I feel like the problem is, all right, he's got Liberators. That's great. But now they're Corruptors. You know, like, earlier, for like the past 10 minutes, it would have been good, but at this stage, like, MysteryMan, he's got the answer.
Yeah, he does have the answer before the question even arrives. Prepared for the Liberators, because you need those Liberators against the Ultras, the Ultra count of the Zerg. Another drop here. He's keeping the pressure on, even if it isn't doing a lot of damage. It's keeping the Zerg army occupied, which is pretty good for him. But once again, he is in a position where he can get surrounded. That army, though, still not here.
Yeah, the army was busy dealing with the drop, so it looks like he gives up this base. And you're right in saying that ExpecT isn't dealing any amazing damage, but he's keeping MysteryMan busy. He's keeping him away from just A-moving and attacking across the map, right? And that's what he has to do. That's what ExpecT just has to buy time. Yeah,
he needs to buy time for himself to keep going into that Marauder count and the Ghost count, or the Ghost tech, which he doesn't seem to have any ghosts, actually. He still doesn't have ghosts, which is kind of an issue. That is a lot of Lings still at this point in the game.
Oh yeah, and he just absolutely just annihilated that planetary. 15 SCVs go down. Oh, to be fair, like, you can argue that at this game you don't really want too many SCVs as a Terran. You can rely a lot more on mules, but again, that was a big hit to his economy. Yeah,
it is quite significant losing a base there. As here comes the Zerg into the pre-splits. We're going to continue splitting backwards against these Ultras and the Ling Bane. There's still so many Banelings and Lings here, though, and he's able to once again push back the Terran in a big engagement.
Yeah, and like just barely as well. Like, a lot of the Ling Bane was used up. Like, imagine if there were like 5 ghosts or something, right? And you snipe the Ultras, they get annihilated. You know, they're cloaked as well. If you want, you can even snipe some Overseers to help with that. Like,
But once again, just the sheer force of Ling Bane in like just able to just eat up ExpecT's army, and ExpecT, again, his micro execution in these fights falters.
Yeah, he's just so stubborn. He's like, I'm gonna play this TVZ and I'm gonna make Marine Marauder mine. That's it.
I'm gonna make every unit that starts with M over and over until I win the game.
Yeah, exactly. I throw in a couple of L's in there with the Liberators, but that's it. It's just
it's M-M-M-M-L.
Oh god.
As yet again, the Zerg army coming in with a massive Bane count. This time, he's decent kiting, and he's gonna be able to take out most of these Banelings. Very good target fire for one. Finally.
Oh yeah,
and, all that's left is Ultras. He's finally cleaning up the fight.
The problem is that it's too late because, you know, the base is going to go down over to the right hand side, and just look at the supplies. Like, it's too much damage is being done.
Light, the soup. It's the soup.
Yeah.
There's just so much Zerg on the map.